If you feel tired, foggy, and slower than you used to, your body is probably carrying more stress than you realize. And most people try to fix that with motivation, caffeine, or other supplements, when what they really need is their body to work the way it's supposed to. So let's talk about EBO2. EBO2 is a filtration therapy paired with oxygen support. Here's the simplest way to understand it. Your blood is your delivery system. It impacts your energy, your recovery, your inflammation, and your performance and mental performance. EBO2 circulates blood through a filtration process and it pairs it with oxygen. The goal is to take pressure off your system so your body can run smoother again. This is not a replacement for the basics, but sleep matters, food matters, training matters, and hydration matters. This is support for the body that's been running at the limit for a long time. When you take pressure off the body performs better. Now, here's why EBO2 gets so much attention. Most people don't realize how off they've been feeling until you feel normal again. And some people notice a fast shift. When your body's under constant load, your system spends all day trying to keep up. That shows up as brain fog, low energy, poor recovery, and feeling like you're dragging all through the day. So when you do something that helps reduce the load, your body responds. Not because it's magic, but because your system finally has room to operate. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Stimulants don't fix fatigue. They cover it up. The goal isn't to push harder, the goal is to push better. Brain fog is one of the most common things people are dealing with right now. It doesn't always feel extreme, it just feels like you're not fully there. You wake up, you try to focus, and your brain feels slow. If your sleep is off, if blood sugar is unstable, your focus is off. If your nervous system is constantly on the edge, your clarity is off. So when people notice better clarity after EBO2, it's usually because the pressure has been taken off. The noise drops, and the brain has space to function again. That's why I tell people not to ignore brain fog. It's not random, it's a warning light. Inflammation is one of the most underrated reasons for people to feel off, because it doesn't always show up as pain. Sometimes it shows up as feeling heavy, slower, more tired than you should be, more irritable than you should be. You can be doing the right things all the time and still feel like your body is fighting something. That's inflammation. And the problem is most people normalize it. They think it's just life, it's just age. They think it's the season that you're in. But when inflammation becomes your baseline, everything costs more. Workouts cost more, recovering costs more, focus costs more, even your mood costs more. So when people talk about EBO2, a big part of what they're reacting to is relief. The system has less to deal with, and the body starts working better across the board. Now, if you're a high performers don't usually have a motivation problem. They have a recovery problem. They can push through almost anything, but eventually the body collects the cost. Most people think the answer is to train harder and stack more supplements. But real performance comes from the capacity and the capacity to recover. Capacity is how much your body can handle before it breaks down. And when the system is overloaded, capacity shrinks. So everything feels harder than it should be. This is a shift. You don't need more intensity, you need more recovery. A lot of people don't realize how stressed their body is until they finally feel what calm feels like. Now, who is this actually for? EBO2 isn't for one type of person. It's for the person who feels like their body is functioning, but not like it used to. You're still getting through the day, you're still showing up, but you don't feel sharp. You don't feel fully recovered. You don't feel steady energy. And it's also for the person who trains hard, but feels like recovery is getting slow. You're doing the right things, but something still feels off. And it's for the person who's been under stress for so long that they don't remember what normal feels like. It's not perfect feeling, it's just a normal feeling. Because once your system has been under load for too long, it becomes your baseline. And the goal is to change that baseline. Now let's clear up the biggest misunderstanding. A lot of people hear about EBO2 and assume it's supposed to fix everything. Now, that's not what it does. EBO2 is not a cure, it's not a shortcut, and it's not something you do to avoid changing your habit. What it does is it supports your system when the body is overloaded, so it can respond again. And that's why two people can do the same exact session and have completely different experiences. One person is hydrated, sleeping, moving, eating more protein, and their body is ready. Another person is under eating, stressed, running on caffeine, sleeping 5 hours, and expecting a miracle. Same tool, different foundation. And this is part of what separates results from disappointment. Support without structure doesn't last. Let me give you a real example. I have someone come in who looked fine on the outside. They work, they care for their family, they're productive, they get things done. But when we talked, it was obvious they were running under pressure. They told me, I'm tired all the time. I don't feel sharp and I feel like I'm dragging. And what hit me was that they weren't doing anything crazy. They were just doing what most adults do, working hard, sleeping when they can, eating whatever fits in the day, and pushing through. That lifestyle doesn't always look unhealthy, but the body feels it. So they did EBO2, and after they said something that stuck with me. I didn't realize how off I felt until I felt normal again. That's the part that people need to hear. When stress becomes a baseline, you forget what normal feels like. You think tired is normal. You think brain fog is normal. You think needing caffeine just to function is a normal thing. And it's not. Sometimes the biggest shift isn't feeling superhuman. It's finally not feeling stuck. Now here's how to get the most out of EBO2, because preparation matters. The day before, do the basics right. Drink water all day. Get electrolytes in, especially if you train or sweat a lot. Eat real meals. Don't come in underfed. And that night, sleep matters. The day of, keep it simple. Hydrate early, eat a solid meal with protein. Skip the fast all day and run on coffees approach that you're potentially doing now. That's the fastest way to feel off after. And after your session, don't treat it like you're invincible. Go for a walk, eat clean, hydrate again. You have to change your environment and give your body room to recover. The point is to reduce stress on the system, not stack on more stress. Now, the next question people ask is, how often should I do it? There's no one perfect answer. It depends on why you're doing it. If someone's been under a load for a long time, they usually need more than one session, creating consistency or change. One session can be a strong start. The momentum comes from consistency. If somebody has already had the basics dialed in and wants to get a higher recovery and performance, their schedule might look different. The body learns these patterns. So if you want a better baseline, you have to support it more than just once. Not forever, not every day, just enough to help the body shift into a better state and stay there. And this is the last thing I want to say, because this is the part that actually matters. Most people are not broken, they're overloaded. They've been running on stress for far too long, and that's become the normal. They've been pushing through for so long that the body forgot what it feels like to feel good. EBO2 isn't just a hype. It's about giving the body the support it needs to finally do what it's designed to. If you want more energy, mental clarity, and better recovery, it starts by taking pressure off the system. If you build a foundation, protect your sleep, eat like an adult, move your body, hydrate, then use the right tools to support the process, then the body will really reach its full potential so that you can go on and do your daily activities like you're designed to.